computer. All right. Good morning, everybody. This is Saturday Zoom, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So this Zoom is a sequel to Cece's CPR last week's Zoom. So we're going to start with some questions. And I've established a pecking order. I'm the first. Okay. So I'm going to go backward here. So one of the things that I need an audience, right? A lot of the audience that I had, existing audience, 4,000 some of them, probably heard from me many times over and over again. So I'm kind of looking for strategy to look for a new audience. Or that's one. And the other part is, how do I sort? I'm sure that I can find few audiences that I could target in the existing audience. How do I sort them so that I don't have to go look for them all the time?
Okay.
When I'm posting. So, and I'm assuming that I need to post more than once to get reaction, right? So I gotta post a few times. Mm-hmm. So, those are my questions. How do I sort out the ones that I think is an appropriate audience with existing friends? Next is, how do I look for new people to add to my audience?
Love it. Awesome. All right. There is a piece, that is a perfect question, because Kwang Soo, hang on. You and I have the exact same challenge, right? I have, right, 4997 friends on Facebook. And, most of them that I have any sort of connection with, I've already reached out to, I've already talked to, or, talked to about this, about Isogenics, about our opportunity. So that was the exact same question that I had for myself in the beginning.
Okay.
So there are a couple of things that I recommend for us to do. The first thing is really a Facebook cleanup. Now, there is a software that I was looking for while I was talking that I can't find, that I will find for everybody, that allows you to en masse delete Facebook friends. Because, again, if it's somebody that's not your real audience, if there's somebody that has absolutely no interest in what you're doing, they said, never reach out to me again, or it's a spam account, or any number of things, you don't need them taking up space on your profile. So one is definitely do a Facebook cleanup. I'm going to find the name of that software, and wherever we save this recording, beneath that recording will be a link to the Facebook cleanup software. It's free. It's really simple. It's really easy, but it allows you en masse to delete people. So that's one. The second thing that I really recommend you do to find a new audience is, there is a feature on Facebook that says recommended friends. So I'm going to pull up my screen share. I use the recommended friends feature often because it's just a very, it's a very simple and easy way for me to find new people to connect with. So hold on, let me share my screen. All right, so here is my Facebook screen. So if you go to the three arrows on the right, and I'm on my phone, so it's a little bit different on your desktop. But if you go to those little three right areas, you can go to the link that says friends, and what you see is a list of a couple of things. You see friend requests, which I kind of have a lot that I haven't responded to. Sorry, potential friends. But you also can find, if you click that button at the top that says suggestions, these are people that Facebook suggests that Now, I'm not just going to randomly add all of them, because a lot of them might be Isogenics people. So I might look at my friends, my mutual friends. I see that's an Isogenics person. I can't accept Isogenics people at this point, unless they're my personally enrolled. So I wouldn't add Aria. You know, I have a special little message that I send to people. I have a special message that I send to people when I can't accept their friend request. But, you know, here's some other ones. So I know Paula Dean is with Isogenic. So Robin, here we go. I know Robin. I won't accept her. Sharon Carson. Let's look at Sharon. All right. So I might take a quick look at her profile. I'm going to look at our mutual friends. Yep, she looks good. I'm going to add her as a friend. And then I'm going to immediately message her. Hold on. I'm going to immediately message her as soon as I add her as a friend. Hold on. My Facebook Messenger is not behaving. All right. So I'm going to add her as a friend. Now, we all know that Cece loves text replacements, right? So of course I have a text replacement for this one, and it's called, for me, and I will share with you the text. It's called FAM, right? And so basically it says, hey there. So, and I might say, hey there, Sharon, or hey, Sharon. It says, I saw you on a list of people, Facebook, and I'm going to tell you, I did this with intention. I put suggested / recommended because sometimes if I'm going through a bunch of people, oh, somebody's looking for our meeting. If I am going through a bunch of people simultaneously, Facebook will Facebook will stop you. So what this allows me is to go back and I delete it. Sometimes I use suggested, sometimes I use recommended, but that time frame allows me, you guys, the opportunity to have enough buffer in time where Facebook won't block me from adding a bunch of people, right? So it says, hey, Sharon, I saw you on a list of people Facebook recommended I become friends with. Hope that's cool with you. How are things? Boom, done. Right? And I can do this, and I'm just going to start conversations with these people. Now I'm going to help my poor team member, Andrew. I'm going to help him get on this meeting because he's not going to stop until we do. But again, you guys, that's all it is. Kwang Soo, that's a big part of what we want to do is we want to add new people. We want to, okay, good. He found us. We want to add new people to our Facebook list. So I do that. I mean, and sometimes again, when I go through and delete a whole lot of people and I have more opportunity to add folks, I might go through and do 10 or 15 a day adding new people. Because here's what I want to do. At the end of the day, I want to add these new people. So I said, how are things? Oh, I'm great. How are you? Oh, I'm wonderful. It's been great. What do you do? Oh, they tell me what they do, right? So the bottom line, guys, we're people having conversations. What would you do, Pam, if you were at a store and you met a really cool person and they were nice and they were friendly and they had smiling eyes that Herb talks about? You would engage in a conversation with them. And so that's all we're doing. So we use a process. So when I have these conversations, I use the form strategy. Does anybody know the form strategy? Okay. All right. So really quickly, because most of you shook your head, I'm just going to say it real quickly what the form strategy is. So when you're engaging in a conversation with people, you want to ask them what we call form, FORM. So F stands for, where are you from? Right? Like, so hey, Andrew, where are you from? And he might tell me he's from, I always forget that place outside of London because, we're Americans, we think everything is London. But he might say that, right? And then another part of the form, the O, is for occupation. Well, Sean, what do you do, right? Like, so as I'm having conversation in Messenger with these people, building a relationship like I would at the grocery store or like I would at the gym or like I would wherever else I go, what's your occupation? What do you do? R in the form strategy stands for recreation. What are your things that you love doing? Right? What are the things that you love doing? And then M is what's your mission or what's your motivation? What gets you, like, maybe they said their occupation was a school teacher and they're this and they're that. Oh my gosh, what has you working all of these jobs? Or, oh my God, that's beautiful work you do. What inspired that? So what's their mission? You know, what's their motivation behind what they do? So literally, you guys, we're just having conversations, and we strike up lots of conversations with lots of people. And so once, you know, and at the appropriate time, then I'm going to ask them a question. Hey, listen, just curious, are you open to some information about how I help people get fit, feel fabulous, become financially free? Whatever. Are you open to a conversation about what it is I do? Are you open to a conversation about the nutrition system that I use that transformed my life? Again, you're going to ask that opening question, that are you open question, that's going to be in alignment with where your conversation has been going. Right? But it literally, all we're doing is just having conversations with people and then asking them, are you open?
So Cece, what's the timing from by the time they accept your friendship and asking these questions and then asking that real question, are you open?
Yeah. So for me, it has, for me, seriously, it's varied. There have been people that within the first 5 minutes, I'm asking them, are they open? Because they said things that's so in alignment. So, oh my gosh, hang on. I'm going to give you guys the perfect example. So Anissa Zabriskie, who is on our team, this is literally the process I use for Anissa. So let me find her in Messenger. And it was so stinking fast. So hang on. Anissa Zabriskie. I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning because now she's on our team. So here we go. So back on, I can't see the date on this. Let me see. I can't see the date. So I sent her, I just sent her a message. She connected with me. So she had friend requested me, so I accepted her friend request and said, and then I asked her, what do you do? Right? That was just part of my form. And she said, oh, I'm Coach Anissa. This is what she does, blah, 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 all this stuff. Yeah, yada, 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 all this great stuff. Wow, and it's a great clarity, even, with vast offering. What's your background? Where did you hone these skills, right? Again, I just want to know who she is. And then she said, I'm an HR director, and I do da-da-da-da. She said, you seem very sharp. I love your greeting. Oh, that totally makes sense. Got it. Love many transferable skills. Well, thank you. And then she asked me, what did I do? I think she asked me what I do. And I said, I retired a few years ago. I've been running sales and go partnerships. So I said something about Lisa Nichols. I knew based on our friends, she knew who that was. And so I said, my little are you open thing. I identify money motivated and people and mentor them to a 6-figure income from home in the health and wellness space. Does that sound like something you'd be interested in learning more about? That was maybe, okay, there you go, June 8th. Let's see I'm going to try to see if I can find this other. June 8th at 3 o'clock. So she responded at June 8th at 2:50. And then I responded on June 8th at almost 6 o'clock. She responded June 8th at 7:40. I responded the 9th the next morning. And that's when I asked her the are you open question. And her answer, yes. I need another business avenue that brings in at least, right, you guys, all it was a conversation. So this one was really quick. It was, I asked her within a day. But there have been other conversations, and I can't think of any off the top of my head, but there have been other conversations where maybe it was 2 days until we got to a point, because maybe it wasn't a volley back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Does that make sense? So, again, Facebook is not LinkedIn. People go onto LinkedIn looking for opportunities, looking for jobs, looking for work. Facebook, people go on Facebook looking for community, looking to laugh, and looking to be connected. So the approach has to be different. In LinkedIn, what do I do in LinkedIn? Hey, let's connect. We can leverage your connections in China. It's very direct. In Facebook, it's a different platform. It's not that way. And when you do it the other way, it just comes off typically feeling a little bit spammy. In Facebook, in LinkedIn, it's totally appropriate.
So you have to kind of warm up to get to that question.
You do.
Sometimes
Yeah,
it
you
takes
do. You
days.
want to. You absolutely want to. Now, are there people that I have reached out to and just said, hey, just curious, are you know, that I knew they followed me, I knew they had liked some of my posts, and that I just went into their inbox and said, hey, you know, are you open to a conversation? Thanks to, you know, I love staying connected to you, blah, blah, blah. Are you open to a conversation about what it is I do? Because I talk about what I do. So there are some people that I go, yep, right in. But the new people that I'm just meeting, 90% of the time, 90% of the time, I will go in and I will engage in conversation for a day, day and a half, 2 days, then ask them, are they open? The one exception I can think of is one that I have where I'm looking to connect with people. Like a lot of time, like when I was going to North Carolina, so I was very intentional about connecting with people in North Carolina. So I did some searches to find people in North Carolina, and let me see if I can find one. No, I can't find it. So I was connecting with people in North Carolina, and I said something like, here, I'm going to send it to Andrew, LOC. I think it's my, yeah. So I did this one. Here we go. And it wasn't very successful, by the way. And it was, hey, you know, Andrew, I noticed you live in Charlotte. Just curious, I'm looking for people here who are interested in making some extra money from home. Would you be open to checking out some information if I send it to you? No worries if not, just thought I asked. Now, I'm going to tell you, of all of the ones that I sent, this one was the least impactful. It had the lowest response rate because I literally just did a search, Charlotte, or Phoenix, and you know, I connected with those people and then sent them this message. Less effective, but you can absolutely do it. More effective when we actually engage with people and have a little bit of conversation before.
Okay.
The reason that CPR works so well is because they feel like they've engaged with you because they liked your post and they read it. You know, so it's not you're not cold going into the conversation. And this, you know, are you open didn't just come out of nowhere.
Okay. Good. Thank you. That makes perfect sense, actually.
Cool.
Yeah, LinkedIn is more like, you know, they don't want to BS with you. They just want to talk about money, period, first, right?
Yeah.
Whereas in Facebook, it's more social network, so you need to really warm up to a conversation.
Yeah.
And the form sounds really good. Good strategy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good.
So I'm going to open up to other people to ask questions. Any questions? Any comments? Okay, so I have another question.
Good.
So I was thinking about doing this in a team format. So, you know, I'm applying to Cece. So, you know, let's say, Cece, let's do this as a team. So, you know, what I like to do is, you know, you post and I'll share your post to help you to get into some of my networkers, you know, and then, you know, vice versa. What do you think about that strategy?
So so I think it's fine if we all so you and I wouldn't have an issue because we're financially linked.
Right.
Right. And so it would totally make sense. And if I know it's a person, you know, if the person contacts me, but they're from your network, for us, it doesn't matter.
Right.
For, you know, well, everybody's financially linked to me, I think.
Well, so
Pam is not. For example, Pam is not. She's on another line. So that wouldn't make sense for us. Like I might be in her downline, but she's not up. You know, I might be in her downline, maybe.
Right. Jody and you are not going to be able to do it together because you're two separate legs. But for me and you and me and Jody would be able to find because even if somebody signs up with me, I would put that person under you, right? So it doesn't really matter who signs up. And I was even, you know, so, you know, if 2 or 3 people do it together, then, you know, if they start sharing the post, that much exposure will get, more exposure will, be there for one
Absolutely.
post.
Absolutely.
Right? So
absolutely. So I do that a lot with Denise, for example.
okay.
So Denise and I have some mutual connections. So what I will do, if it's one of our, if it was one of our mutual connections, and it makes sense, right? Like that. Okay, they could have gone to me. They could have gone to Denise. Well, I'm gonna put them on my Denise leg, right? Like if they're connected with her, I want to make sure that they're financially linked together. So absolutely. So we do that together all the time.
Yeah. So one of the reasons why I thought about this is somebody coming new and they don't really have a lot of profile of Isogenics posting, and then they post something, and then if I work with her or him, my presence would add some validity in her posting, right?
Absolutely.
So working together might work. So it's something that I thought about, and
it absolutely. And one of the other things I would recommend too, doing with somebody that you're locked arms with, Denise and I have done this as well. Facebook Lives together, right? Like, let somebody on their Facebook Live interview you.
mm-hmm.
This is right, like to show that, again, it lends that validity and lends that credibility to the other person. Right, to a new person. And again, we talked about, and again, they can use the CPR method, right? And still do that Facebook Live.
Right. And
which
also
would have a lot of impact.
Yeah. Also, I thought that working together will give you a working partner. So it really, if I want to start something, it takes a long time to start, right? But if you and I starting, well, I have to start because Cece's doing it. So make yourself, what do you call that? Accountable, right? Yeah, so it'd be a good accountability partner. So I really I really encourage you to find somebody. I mean, to work together, preferably, if you recently recruit somebody, that'd be really good to put some, power under their team, right? Our team.
Create managers. Just create managers.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Yeah. Any other questions? All right. Well, if they don't have any questions, Cece, move ahead with your thing.
Awesome. Perfect. So this next piece is designed, if you have already gone through the training from last week called CPR. If you've not gone through CPR, stop the recording, look below this video, find the link to CPR training, and watch that first, and then come back and watch this. It's going to make so much more sense if you had done that. And also, Kwang Soo, it's actually going to answer another part of your original questions about finding a new audience, okay? So again, with the whole point of CPR is to really create engagements and allow that engagement to lead to conversations, because that's all we're doing with CPR. But let me tell you, really where Facebook is taking itself is off of timelines and into groups. And Facebook is really, really encouraging groups. Right now, there are 2.3 billion active users per month on Facebook, and there are over 620 million Facebook groups. And that's really what Facebook is driving. I mean, guys, you can look at their advertisements. They're actually advertising on television now. And what are they advertising? Facebook groups, right? And that you can, your personality can shine through your Facebook groups of people that are like-minded. And so there are a couple of different strategies that go along with CPR that I'm going to share today about how we can use groups as another way of, like Kwang Soo said, growing his audience, but then also at the same time, engaging in conversations with people, all right? So we talked last week about CPR. So this week, we're going to talk about price, okay? P-R-I-C-E. We're going to talk about price. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to, I'm gonna share my screen with you again. All right. All right, so I'm going to share my screen and we're going to go and find a Facebook group. Now, here's the important thing to know about Facebook groups, you guys. It's so critical. The first part I want you to do is I really want you to write down a list of things that, one, you are interested in. So Farmer John might be interested in farming in Michigan, right? You know, Paula might be interested in, you know, fit over 40. Denise might be interested in, you know, healers. I don't know, right? Like, but find things that you have an interest in. You know, there are people that we have equestrians on our team. We have people, you know, I don't know, maybe Andrew likes Liverpool Football Club. I don't know, whatever it is. I want you to write down a list of things that you are personally interested in, right? But then after that, I want you to write a second list of things that your particular customer may be interested in. Okay, so who are the people that seem naturally attracted to you? Who are the people that are already on your team that were attracted to you? What are they interested in? Right? So a lot of people that a group that would make sense for me, married Christians. I don't know, right? Like that might be a group that makes sense for me. Or again, fit and fabulous over 40. All kinds of things. So think about things that you're interested in, but think about things that the people who are attracted to you are interested in. And then let's just go find groups of those people. So we see I've been practicing. So fans of Tony Robbins, for example, you know, you can look up something like that. I love Tony Robbins. So I can look up under fans of Tony Robbins. If you notice, there's a little link that says groups. Click on groups. Right? And so you want to find fans of Tony Robbins groups or groups that people like. So I did something with Tony Robbins called the Fire Walk. So maybe I'll join the Tony Robbins. Maybe I'll join the Tony Robbins UPW Fire Walk group. Or maybe I'll join, you know, Tony Robbins grads. Now, the thing I will say about groups is when they get too big, it can and cannot be effective. For the first strategy, it can be effective. Second strategy, it won't. But so like for the first strategy, let's talk about that. It can be any size. It can be the, you know, 8,000 members or 1,500 members. You know, it can be 4,000 members, whatever. But pick a group. Let's start there. So you're going to pick a group and join the group. And now some of them you don't want to, again, some of them have these things where you have to answer questions. Look, nobody has time for that. Exit. Nobody has time for that. Exit. All right. So, you know, I won't join the group. But here's what you would do if you join that group. So maybe, for example, and I think this is a bad example because this group seems a little spammy. Yeah, this one looks a little spammy. All right, so we don't like that group. So you don't want a group that has a bunch of people spamming stuff, okay? Like you just don't want that. So here's another group that you probably have to be a member to join. Let me see. Okay, so yeah, there's no spam. So you have to answer the questions to get in that group. So that isn't one that I would join. But again, just look up some different groups or things that you care about. So here's one. All right, here we go. The story behind this picture, 20, I came out $4,000 a year, whatever. Okay, it's a great post. It's a good post. How about like the post, right? Comment, just like CPR. like it, comment on it. Now I can't comment because I'm not in the group yet, but I would leave a comment on this post, have some engagement. I would tag David Moore, have a little engagement with him, right? So again, find a post, reply to the post. That's the R. So find, P is the post, find the post. R is reply to the post. All right. After I replied, I is inbox the person. Oh my God, that was the coolest post, David, with the picture of your story about Tony Robbins. God, that had to be absolutely epic. How's your day going? Right? Again, so you're just inboxing them to start engaging in the conversation, right? The C in the price formula is all about saying, now that you have inboxed them, the C is again that question, that comment, that curiosity, you can call it. So listen, are you open to a conversation about how I help people, earn a full-time income and part-time hours from home in the health and wellness space? Again, whatever that are you open question that makes sense based on the conversation, you'll ask that question. That's the C. Right? That's the C. And then the E is just to ensure that they get the information that you said you needed, right? Or that you said you would provide. That literally is it. That's the price formula. So again, find a post, you're in a group, find a post, reply to it, inbox it, create the curiosity, that's our question, and then E, ensure they get the information that they need and ensure you follow up with it. But again, it's the same formula. It's virtually the same formula as CPR. It's all about creating the conversations and the engagement that allows you, or creating the engagement that allows you to go over the bridge, right? And have a real conversation with them about what it is you do. Does that make sense, you guys?
Yes. So basically, if I want to, let's say, promote Isogenics Shake Pro, then I'll find the groups of, let's say, bodybuilders.
Absolutely.
And join the group, and then find one guy and then make a comment, inbox it, and then ask him what is he using, how do you get so big, healthy. And then, if said, oh, I'm using this, you know what, I've been using this, take a look at it.
Yep.
So it's just.
Are you open to a conversation?
Yeah, open conversations and just move on. Yeah, okay. Wow, that's nice. So if you go to group, then you can find the same kind of people all over again in one space instead of moving around all over the place.
Absolutely. That's the beauty behind groups, right? That's the beauty behind them, is that, they have like interests already.
Well, you can go to
tap into those like interests.
Yeah, you can go to Chinese group. There are a bunch of Chinese group and just go.
Yes.
Boom.
One of you know what? That's so perfect that you say that. Like Chinese in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Right. Chinese in Chinese. Let's see. Denise is in Washington D.C. Chinese in Washington, D.C. metropolitan area.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be your area either. It could just be all over the place too.
Oh, it can absolutely be all over the area. Yeah. That my lunch has arrived. It can absolutely be all over. But it's one of those things that it also gives those of us who doesn't have an opportunity, that doesn't have an opportunity to, or who aren't as well connected in their local communities, to build locally as well.
Right.
Because I mean, when you first started China, you started with Chinese people in California.
Right. Absolutely. Right? Yes.
And so this gives us an opportunity. We can really narrow our focus in that way.
Do you want me to pause the recording so you can get the lunch?
Yeah, would you? That'd be great.
Yeah, okay. We're back on recording.
All right, perfect. So it, again, great opportunity to not only connect with like-minded people, you get to drill it down to your local area if you want to do that, things that you're interested in. Maybe I'm interested in female football fans, right? Because I love football and I'm female. That might be something I'm interested in. Or that people that are female football fans, they might be interested as well. so again, just get creative. You guys think about, think about people that you like. I'm going to tell you just, so for example, one of the communities that I really look for people in is the John Maxwell community. He's me. He's personal development with God in there, right? Like that he's me. And so the people that are attracted to him are absolutely attracted to what I'm attracted to. Mm. So I'm going to tell you, some of my best team members have all been John Maxwell certified teachers. Mm. Right? So that's just one to look for.
Okay, good.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much. And I'll end the recording here. Okay. And more coming, I guarantee. Okay. Yep. Good. Thank you very much, Cece. I really appreciate it.